Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on out there? What is up, all you happy hashers? Yo, what's going on, Rude? We got Tech Man and we got Cisco. What's going on, everyone? Like I said, I'm going to start off every episode until it happens like this. We got 12 days until the merge. So take a look at your payout schedule, guys. Check, make sure that it's not going to take you, if you just got a payout and it takes 12 days or more to get a payout again, time to move your rigs over to something else, or may have that discussion with yourself if this is going to be you stopping mining, because that's the last of your profitability at your current price per kilowatt hour up until the family mine opens up. Yo, bigly. Hey, what's going on, Foot Wise? Man, I fucking love your name, dude. That is fucking genius of a name, Fudweiser, dude. I love it. I love it. And he's coming in here dropping that because all of you people are rated F for fucking awesome. Yo! So, yeah, definitely go into, yo, what is up, Mining Hollow? Mana aloha. What's going on? That's one thing I love about Hawaii, Mining Hollow. That is one thing. In the morning, aloha. In the afternoon, aloha. In the evening, aloha. Fuck, it's the same word all the time, because it's like you're always greeting somebody when you meet them. I love it. I kind of like how the Hawaiian culture is, you know. I have visited the Big Island before, back when I was like, God, is it that? Back in the 80s, many, many moons ago. It's like first time is relevant. Yes. That is true. So, yeah. So definitely, guys, make sure, you know, like I'm going to keep putting this out as we get closer to the merge date. Just kind of make sure that you are definitely staying on top of your mining rigs here and making sure that you know your payout intervals. Don't want you to sit there and burn electricity, especially if you're already at a high electricity rate already. It's better to kind of make that decision, make a plan of what you're going to do. So if it takes you 12 days or more to get a payout and you just got a payout, might be time to stop mining on there. Don't waste the power. We either move over to another coin, or you're going to be shutting it off temporarily until the family mine gets opened up and you can send your rigs to us. Just saying. Just put that out. Jumps off Helium rug. Yeah. He's like, Dutch English. Nice. Nice. Awesome. So, like I said, you know, I'll be definitely making sure this is engraved in everybody's head, because I don't want anybody to be losing money here. That is the last thing I want anyone here to be ever doing, is losing money. Because, you know, it's like, as much as I really can't control what somebody else does, I'd like to try to at least get them the best information possible, so that even if they make a bad decision, they had all the information. I mean, realistically, that's how it boils down, right? So, keep an eye on this stuff, guys. Stay frosty. That's what it's all about, man. So, going on to next thing, we have, and I hate to say it like this, the United States is the greatest country in the world. The people that live here are amazing. We have a lot of culture, a lot of diversity, a lot of inclusiveness. Without the fucking woke culture movement going ripping through, it was already like this. It's like, I can go out to the park and have conversations with any person out there. Nobody's going to be all snippy. You're going to have somebody that might be in a bad mood. That's an individual thing. You might have somebody who doesn't have the time. They're hurry. You can tell how they're walking, right? But for the most part, you can sit there, walk around in a park, say hello, and generally people are going to say hello back. They're not going to give you the stink eye, right? So we don't need to have a lot of this woke culture movement and like putting down restrictions anywhere, right? So going into in the restriction end of it, here we go again with our gang banging government. You see, I love the United States. The people are fucking amazing here. A lot of good people. A lot of fucking good people. Yes, there's people making bad decisions. People who are not the brightest people making bad decisions. Yes. But the problem that we have as American culture is not the people of the United States. Just like Russia, it's not the Russian people that's the fucking problem. At the heart of every issue is a fucking totalitarian government. And here we go, another show of how our fascist government works. Boom! NVIDIA may lose $400 million revenue with new export restrictions. The United States just thinks it can control everybody. And this is just another spot where you're going to see it. People are controlling. I see a question from Cisco. Are you going to be taking open rig and server case styles? I want to stay away from open rig. And at the facility, it's like, I know it's like kind of a little sidetrack. Not a problem. It's a good question. At the facility, I do not want to deal with open rigs. Not so much that open rigs are bad. They're fine when you're at home. I've got open air rigs here at home. It's fine, right? But in the facility, space is key. And if I can sit there and pack everything in nice and tight, I can also control airflow. And if I can control airflow, your rigs will be so much happier breathing that sweet, fresh air. So I can control your temperatures better for your rigs. I have server cases that I will be allowing people to either rent or purchase from us. They're not going to be if you want the VIP cases like the Octominers and shit like that. Octominers, Miner Dude, all of those high-end miners, server cases, we can make it an option for you. But we have cheaper options in-house already. I've got 40 some odd server cases ready to deploy. I got almost enough power supplies for that. Pretty close to it. But I would rather have the server cases. So I mean, I would say like if you're gonna sit there and send rigs and you don't have server cases to send with them, that's fine. We can supply those for you. That's kind of how I was kind of looking at it with that one. So I hope that kind of answers that question for you. Yes, it's printed in my mind now. Yes. What's going on, Tech Man? Giving everybody a shout out. Yo. First time with Nemesis on and Hot Rods and Crypto. Yo, that's what's up, Budweiser. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen you popping on my channel. I usually see you on the DCH side of it. It's all good. It's all good. We're all fam here. That's what's up, fam. It's like mine and Huddle. Good idea on the rental cases. AliExpress cases are fine. Yes, they are. Yeah, cool. Server cases in a data center makes sense, especially with the hot and cold aisles. 100%. So if I ship you 8 GPUs, you'll be able to plug and play. 100%. 100% mine and hodl. Just send the gear that you need to have hosted. It's like if you're gonna keep the motherboard, that's fine. It's like then you. But if you're gonna sit there and do it, you just find some cheap server cases to ship everything with, or just ship the GPUs, and we'll plug and play those bad boys for you. We've got a good supply for being able to grab inexpensive server cases, and to me, a server case is a server case. Motherboard, plugs GPUs in, good Delta fans on there, power supply that's adequate for the cards that are in there. And you can't really, you're off to the races basically. The only deciding factor with the server cases is going to be with the power supply. So if you give me super high-end GPUs, I've got to supply a higher end power supply on there to supply the power to all of your GPUs. And this way I'm making sure that they're stable and not going to have any power ripples, because power ripples is what kills the equipment. So at that point, depending on what you send, depends on what gear I have on hand. Sometimes you might have to grab a power supply, or we're going to have to charge you for a couple of power supplies, because, like, especially in the case of 3090s. 3090s are going to be they're a pig fucker to deal with. I mean, you're talking about almost with eight 3090s, motherboard, power, fans, all that good stuff. You're almost 4,000 watts. So it depends on the GPUs, depends on the power supply. I think that's going to be that would be the only variable factor, I think, in the whole works. So that would be a discussion per client. This way, everybody knows what's going on right up front. Boom. Yes, you'd be 3,600 watts for just the GPUs. You got the fans, 4 Delta fans. You're another 150 watts on the fans. You got your power. You got the power supply is going to eat up a percentage of power, plus its cooling fan, motherboard, risers. So you can be looking upwards of peaks of up to 4,000 watts, depending on between your fans and motherboard. So I kind of just give everything a good clean headroom of that 4,000 watts with like 83090s or 83090 Ti's. You gotta give everything has to have breathing room. Otherwise, you'll either burn out power supplies prematurely, especially if it's in a not even in a hot environment. You can have the rig have fresh air, but because the outside temperature is, let's say it's summer out, dog days of summer, 90 degrees outside, 40% relative humidity, and you're maxing out your power supply pretty hard. Everything is working if it's cold, but the moment that it gets hot, you pop the power supply. I've popped a couple of power supplies because I didn't factor in enough for the Delta fans. I've popped one power supply because it was just too much running on it, and I was figuring, 2,400 watts, 3060 Ti's. I'm underclocking them to 100 watts. We're good to go. The power supply, it was a cheaper power supply. It came with the case that I got. I don't normally utilize those power supplies, but I was in testing mode on it, and I wanted to see if it really made a difference. And, oh God, yes, it does 100%. Don't use cheap power supplies. I mean, it's a gimme, but I wanted to really test it. And that's what got me to actually start doing like the testing on all the new 30 series GPUs, that you've got you've got to sit there and just kind of calculate everything to be max wattage on it, because at some point in that rig's life, everything is going to be max voltage. And make sure you got enough headroom, boys, because like the 4000 series NVIDIAs are not going to be any better. It would the case would be an all-in-one unit. What would change the price, the variable price on there, I think, will be the power supply. So as it needs more power, it's the power supplies are just going to cost money. So the case itself are already equipped with motherboards and fans. So all of that's all taken care of. Yes, Rude, and I know Max Voltage. He's good peeps. Max Voltage, actually, he's not horribly far from me. So he's in my neck of the woods. Same thing with Nefarious and a few other people. So, Tech Man, I got to figure out what to do in the next life. May jump and do my own thing. Yeah. Either that, you can jump and put combine our forces together with mining equipment. Yeah, I'm gonna keep shilling fucking the Family Mine LLC. Don't delay, hash today. Get your hash rate on. But going back to this, so like I was saying before I sidetracked here, good question, Mine and Hodl, love it. NVIDIA may lose 400 million in revenue with new export restrictions. So it looks like in the United States government is going to be restricting the A100 GPUs, such as the DGX and the HGX, based on the company's newest architectures. These are server-grade AI development GPUs. The newly imposed requirement will also apply to NVIDIA's forthcoming H100, the Hopper series, or products achieving similar performance. So now they're restricting China on performance basis. Oh, these are too good. Our military is already using these, and we know how good this equipment is for our military. Stop them from using it. I think this is just a complete military ploy. But here's my thought on it. We know that China has been kind of positioning themselves to look like they're going to take over Taiwan. And I don't know how much the United States government's going to sit there and really help a little island like that. Because that means that they'll be fighting two fronts. And that would basically turn the United States into a third world fucking country, where they're going to have to fleece every American for every dollar they have. Maybe that's why they're hiring in 80,000 fucking armed IRS agents, because they need to make sure you pay your fair share. Oh, you've got 50 cents in the couch cushion. You're going to jail. Think about it. You're not allowed to have economic value because the United States government is making that sacrifice for you. So it's like it seems like China's going to position themselves to take over Taiwan. Now, if they take over Taiwan, I mean, if you think about it, Taiwan is off the coast of China. That's like saying that Hawaii fucking belongs to Australia, because it's not really our island, right? No, it's close to us. It's ours. That's kind of how most countries look at it. Oh, that island, that's really close to us. You're not putting your military bases here. So we've had military bases on Taiwan, the Taiwanese island since World War II. We've never given it up. It was a strategic military placement. And guess what? NVIDIA makes these chips at TSMC in Taiwan. So, if, China takes over Taiwan, they have the A1000, they got the H1000. These sanctions mean nothing. And now NVIDIA is screwed because, or NVIDIA is told that they're no longer allowed to sell to us. I mean, I just see bad things happening right here. Bad things. So they're putting because they know it's just that these chips are really, really good chips is the thing. People have been tweeting out about it, of course. But I mean, it's like you can get into all of the politics behind it, but realistically, I think it's that they don't want them to have the accelerated hardware for either server farms for themselves, military weapons defense stuff, because that's what our military industrial complex uses these for, is for guided missiles and stuff like that. To be able to track and deploy these in real time, and being able to make calculations in seconds, much faster than a human being able to make a small little adjustment manually on a guided rocket. So now these are AI-guided rockets from the United States, and they definitely do not want China to have this technology if they're planning to go to war with them, possibly. I see bad things happening here. I'm just saying. I hate to be so doom and gloom on this one, but this is just, it just seems like you're trying to have, the United States government's trying to have a pissing contest with another government. It's like, are you guys retarded up there in the White House? And I know none of them listen to me. I'm a nobody YouTuber, but good God, we need to be worrying about the drug epidemic that we got going on in here, where fentanyl is the number one killer of people in the United States. And our government is so brain dead that they are going after other governments because that makes America better. No, it makes us look like we're bully gangbangers, UAV bunker busters. Yeah, exactly, Mine and Huddle. Yes, indeed. So, I mean, I think it's more that they don't want their military to have that technology. I think it's kind of bullshit that we're going to tell a company that they have to do the dirty work of the United States. I mean, if you really think about it, they're making the individual company be the people that take the economic hit for it. For what purpose? So that they lose a portion of the market, and now because of a self-inflicted wound, here's the other ramification that people miss, is that, and I was just thinking about it right now in real time. It just came to my head. It's like so they're going to miss out on $400 million worth of profits, right? That's profits. So let's say that's a 10% profit margin, right? So they're selling, I'm just going to pull a random number. Let's say $2 billion is what they're looking at. They're selling. They're going to make $400 million on $2 billion worth of equipment, right? Which, to me, that's fucking amazing. I'd be very happy with that. So, so now we have that, let's say $2 billion that the rest of the market now has to absorb so that NVIDIA still hits their target profitability number for the research and development that they've already done. Because it takes millions of dollars to do the research and development on these things. This is sophisticated hardware that goes even far beyond my comprehension. Like, they could probably explain it to me, and I'm a hardware nerd. And I would be getting excited with what they're saying, and I'd be like, oh God, you got so deep. You lost me, you know? So, like the rest of the market is now going to have to take the brunt. So now the product is going to, instead of become less expensive, it's going to become more expensive because the market has to now absorb that. This is no different than the United States going, we're going to shut down the economy. So you're going to fuck over a company, in which in turns fucks over the small little bit of clientele that you allow them to have. So now they're getting dictated on who their clients are in a global economy. This shit doesn't work. You're either going to have a global economy, or you're going to have individual countries that are competing against each other. Now, I don't mind having individual countries competing with each other, but with that being said, China wins. We don't fucking produce shit here in the United States except fucking blue-haired fucking little sissies, you know? Blue-haired sissies that are wanting Marxism and, gross. But yeah, and it's like, okay, they get this to pass through, right? What's next? What's next? Because a lot of the AIB partners, guess what? They're in the chiggity China for GPUs. Self-inflicted wound on some GPU shortages whenever they go, oh, we shouldn't be allowing them to play with GPUs because look at what they can do with hardware acceleration on a GPU. It's just a little slower than the A100 and the H100. I see bad things happening. So this is a slippery slope, and I hope our little gangbanging government turns this shit around, because having a pissing contest with countries that are producing are major producers is not a good thing. That's going to shoot us in the foot. Oh my God, yeah, Tech Man, that's true. Yeah, one A100 would almost make a PS3 cluster almost obsolete, dude. I mean, you're talking, wow, the compute units on this thing, and here, let me show this little bit off here. Let's see here if it'll open up. No, so along here on the sides, this is HBM2 memory. This is some high-speed memory, guys. Woo! This thing is a major powerhouse, and they're about to release the Hopper series. I'll never be able to get my hands on. I mean, one of these fucking things are like $5,000. I've got no use for them at all. It's completely impractical for what I do. As a miner, this is impractical. If you're an IT guy and you get to play with this stuff, cool. I wish I was one of those people. But for my, being a miner, I have no need for one of these. Especially at $5,000 and everything moving away from memory-based mining. These will be obsolete here very quickly with like mining. I think they just use too much power. It's AI development stuff. Nothing that we need. I'd love to see it throw some hash rate down. But practicality, no. It's like, I wish somebody would like at NVIDIA would be like, here, we'll let you test it out and get this thing hashed, and you can work with our developers to get this to go. And I'd be like, oh my God, I feel honored. But yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. And check it out. We have an alleged leak. First look at the 4080. Yes, this is a 4080 Founders Edition with the same little funky blower style on the one side and a pass-through fan on the other. This will have the same thickness as the 3090 Founders Edition. So it'll be a little bit of a thick boy, pretty tall. So it's going to be this is probably a recycled 3090 Founders Edition shroud that they now use for the 4080. I would not be surprised. So this has been leaked out by Kitty Yuko. Some refer him as Kitty Corgi, depending on how far back you go with it. This will be definitely a dual slot, just as wide as the 3090. And you know that this is going to have, I think this is only, I don't know if this got the dual 16 pin plug or not, but this should have at least a single, the actual 16 pin one. That funky little proprietary fucking plug that I think is the stupidest thing. But these things are, NVIDIA's going down the route of they're going to make it to where you need to dedicate a 220 circuit just for your computer. It's like, and a 30 amp breaker dedicated for your computer. The way that NVIDIA with Intel, an NVIDIA Intel combination is going to use all the power. So this one, I would love to get my hands on some of this stuff to test out with. So you will be looking at this being the 80-103-300 die. Now, I do not know at this point if they're still producing them as an LHR lock. I'm hoping that they finally gave up on that. That's going to be my hope on it. It's just more of an inconvenience because they cannot it has to be locked in software. That's all it is. So it's just you put it in software and you're just incentivizing somebody to figure out a workaround. And Mikkel's like, the 3080 rig hates me. It gets a little warm in the mining rig room. And my 3080 rig gets completely upset. It's like, man, I don't want you. Go away. So, I don't know if this is a message from earlier that I missed, but I'm going to go into my rig real fast, guys. Yep. My 3080 rig still hates me. I don't know why either. It gives me like no warning. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to reboot my rig. Like sometimes I wonder if the board is hurt. Ah. Dell has the A100 80 gigabyte model for $23,000. Yeah, I told you, dude. I told you I'd love to play with it, but it ain't practical. So much for tree hugging over there. Oh my god, yeah. Those things, and to see a full A100 array built out, it's beautiful. I don't care who you are. An A100 array, just having with the coolers on there. Oh God, so much hardware. There is so much gold sitting right in front of you. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff, guys. That over here, that there. So with the 4080 series, though, like I was talking about before, I realized that my rig was down. The 4080 has almost 10,000 CUDA cores, which that's a lot of CUDA cores. That's a lot of horsepower. They haven't officially released the clocks yet on there. Of course, it's going to be the GDDR6X memory modules. It will be equipped with 16 gigabytes. The 4070 is still being rumored with the 10 to 12 gigabytes of the GDDR6X modules. And of course, the 4090 is just going to be a rerun of the 3090 at 24 gigabytes at a GDDR6X. It's just going to have a more stout core on it. I don't really see too much of a difference. They're talking about a 450 watt target point on there, but the cables that they have on there can hit up to 600 watts. So I would probably say peak wattage for this 3090, you might be looking at between 5 to 550 watt peak to peak, right? Where 450 is where it's going to see itself majority of time. And when I say peak to peak, it can be like 0.2 of a millisecond, you know, and it just kind of smacks the 550. And if you don't have a big enough power supply, it could power ripple through, and something may or may not get damaged. So kind of be careful with that. But yeah, I would love. It's like if anybody at NVIDIA ever wanted to let me just very respectfully play with the A100 array, I would be like a kid in a candy store. I'm just saying. I don't even know what I would do with it first, you know. Just because like I don't have any AI development, so I really couldn't put it into that pace. But still be interesting hardware to play with, nonetheless. But yeah, seeing that there's more leaks coming out of 40 series GPUs coming out, I like that. I have been telling people to kind of hold off on buying GPUs at this point, not only just because Ethereum is going to merge and you don't want to buy GPUs. It's like, no. Because it's going to the merge, there's going to be an abundance of GPUs. I would rather sit there and stretch my dollar as, you know, I'd rather go to the market with a coupon, and I would rather have the whole market be a coupon on a fire sale. And not even worry about this 4000 series. I mean, I skipped the 20 series. I was like, I don't see the 20 series being enough of a jump. I'm seeing that the 40 series is in that same boat as the 20 series. I don't think they're bringing enough to the table to warrant a refresh. I think this is just them trying, you know, it's like this is hitting those people who want 10% improvement. They've already got the 30 series, and now they've got the 40 series, and people are like, ooh, shiny, this one must be better because the numbers are bigger. So am I going to not try to grab one of these? Of course I'm going to grab one. I mean, let's be real. I love testing hardware, but after testing it, that's where I'm going to make more of my decision, you know, price per hash on there for what your reward coming back to you is going to be. So, you know, it's like you got to look at it from a business standpoint. Yes, I have the YouTube side of things where I want to grab one of these, content. But to release a whole fleet of them into the mining facility might not be feasible economically or power-wise. You know, these things might be so power inefficient with what they do that it's just not worth it. You know, if I can't get them to consistently stay under 300 watts with its full hash rate, it becomes a burden trying to deploy a whole bunch of them. Just because you start going, oh, I'm going to make an 8-card rig with these newer cards. Oh, wait a minute, I need 5,000 watts worth of power supply now. It's like now you're talking 2 power supplies for a full rig. That starts eating up resources versus trying to find a more power efficient counterpart that you can be a little bit more dense with without having a huge hardware hit in expenses. Oh yeah, Mine and Hodl, you know it, my man, you know it. But you know, it's like I still want to test a lot of this stuff out. I'm interested. I like that they kept the power target within the same ranges. That gives me hope that I can be able to undervolt these things very nicely, and they should be able to perform great. So, yeah. And, of course, we have that ARC news. We have some more of that ARC stuff coming out also. The Intel ARC team is working on its next generation, which will be the ARC Battle Mage. So, yeah, it's not going to be anything fancy. It's going to be some more of the same. Hopefully they get the drivers worked out. Hopefully it's more backwards compatible. Yep, the ARC. Yeah, the Intel ARC. Oh, you don't know anything about this, my man? Rude. Let me introduce you to the Intel ARC GPU. If you missed it, here is an Intel ARC A380. If you haven't seen one, this is one in the wild, in hand. Nothing really special about it. The only thing that lights up on it is this. It's got a little 8-pin. You can see that it's got an old school style. And if you want to see under the hood on this one, guys, stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to take this bad boy apart. We're going to see... I want to see some naked circuits. Yeah, kind of. It's like an... okay, you did see me do that. Okay, cool. But yeah, the new ARC Battle Mage that'll be coming out here will be the next lineup. So they'll have Battle Mage, Celestial, Celestial, and I forget what the Druid. Yes. So here is some of their pictures. So this is the Alchemist series. That's why it's called the A380. And then they'll have the B series, the C series, and the D series. Now, what I'm more curious on, if these pictures depict what you see under the hood on the chipset. Because if they put in some ghosted in imagery like this, I will have to fucking buy all of them. I'm not kidding. If they've got that imagery on the chipset of a Battle Mage, a Druid, bro, I'm getting all of them. And I want to see if the Alchemist series, that chipset shows that die set. Usually I see it like this as being a cross-cut section. So I don't think mine's going to look like that. I think mine's going to look like bare silicon. But if they look like this, oh my god, I will have to get those. I'm not saying that that's what they're going to look like, but if it comes out that that's how they are going to look like, just that reason alone, I'll have to buy them. I will almost try to see if I can buy a GPU not soldered to a board. This way I can actually like put them on a display. They don't even have to be working GPUs as long as they've got that artwork on it. That's me. Yeah, if it's got that artwork on there, oh giggity. That'll be amazing. I'll be very happy with that. Because like you get onto this photo and it gets a little bit cleaner. You can see the battle mage here. Oh, I hope that's what it looks like. You're a bit of a geek. Yeah, I am. Just a little. I have a small soft spot for Japanese anime. Okay, guys, a small. I grew up with some of the OGs of Japanese anime. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that. He's like, that's what I like about you. Nice. And from a couple days ago, whenever I was talking about some of the GPUs and stuff like that too, I said press. Listen to me, Stream Deck. When I press buttons, you do as I say. So AMD goes epic with its Genoa X and Bergamo. So the new hardware leak has come out on the Epic lineup, guys. So if you guys are into servers and stuff like that, if any of you guys out there, like my man Gundy, who is an IT infrastructure person, big shout out to my man Gundy. He would definitely nerd out over this. I almost want to sit there and ask him whenever he gets the chance to deploy any of this stuff, if there would be a way I can secretly test some hardware. I would like to do some benchmarking on some of this stuff, and I would love to see if it would be possible if I can remote into one of these things. And now it doesn't have to necessarily mine. I can care less. I'd like to just like run some benchmarks on some of these things, like some of the rendering benchmarks, and just be like, click, 30 seconds. What? Render out an hour-long video, 30 seconds. It does it on my computer in 2 hours, and you're like, oh dear Lord, it's like that. So if anybody gets into this stuff, man, imagine having the 9700 series. You're over 100 cores. Bro, 100 fucking cores. It's like you only need 2 of those to play a video game. You could have the rest of it mining Monero. And guess what? The Monero miner will work on this, guys. Trust me. I haven't seen anybody that hasn't played with an Epic that the Monero software, like XMRig, hasn't worked on. Like XMRig people, they will have the update out for this thing probably within days of it coming out. That like some of those guys are IT infrastructure guys, so as soon as they get it, they like secretly quickly test out on there, make it all work, and then shove out the code. And it's not that hard to recode in, slight little tweaks in architecture. It's like Rude's like beer time. When you're gonna play Leisure Suit Larry. No. So yeah, this will be an interesting one watching it come out. Here's your official leak out on some of the benchmarking and stuff like that. We're looking at the Zen 4 architecture, Genoa. 256-bit bus on the memory, which that's pretty decent when you're talking about 100 fucking cores. 320 to 360 watts, which it'll have a peak of probably about 400-ish watts. That is insane on such a massive die set. That thing, like whenever I was talking with Gundy, he's like the epics are almost 1.5 times bigger than a Threadripper. And my Threadripper's fucking the size of my palm, guys. All right. So there's a lot there's a lot of performance in a little package. And from what I understand, like those that new Epic, it can run with in idle state without a cooler on it. It only needs a cooler as if you sit there and you start putting it under load. I was like, oh wow. Their idle state is like almost off on these things. It's like, oh, so exciting to see some of this stuff. Not that I'm ever going to be able to get my hands on it, but still, a lot of these options that you see in the server line, within 2 years, you will see it in the non-commercial line. So for us plebs, we'll start seeing some of the performance upticks that they're putting into the Epic chips in a couple of years that they're going in today. So this is good stuff. The good old days. He's like, why not? I'm not it. There's certain things you got to be careful about putting onto YouTube that will either get you banned or the YouTube algorithm will suppress your channel. So I've got to be careful about which one I play. Now, if I'm only on Twitch, bro, I can damn near get away with anything as long as I'm not showing genitals, male or female genitals, or boobs. And it's anything goes on Twitch. Well, no. They'll let you see boobs. I take that back. Twitch will allow it as long as it's in-game only. I forget about that because that's where a lot of people were playing Cyberpunk 2077 with the full nude on there too. That is right. So yeah, he's like, don't play Larry then. Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason why. I know of Larry pretty well, but yeah, not on YouTube. Don't need to get in troubles. And the last thing for everybody. A fat blue-haired man without his shirt. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So here is the story of the day for me, guys. Helium devs. So for everybody that was so big in the helium mining, the devs themselves have introduced HIP70, which is Helium Improvement Protocol 70 governance proposal launched on last Tuesday, that it was going to ditch its own blockchain for Solana. IoT cannot scale in the way that people think. So everybody that was sitting there and buying all these IoT devices so you could put them in your houses, so you could put them all over town, yada, 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 you just got pwned by the devs. This is why I don't believe in shitcoins. This is why anytime I see a company that requires its users to purchase a device in order for their network to run properly will fail on principle. It's the same thing with XYO. With the Geo tokens, you're requiring people to purchase an IoT device and spread them out. It's not sustainable. There's no way to keep it going long term. Now, what Helium was trying to do was they were trying to make a mesh network system. You cannot do that unless you're just going to give the hardware out for free. It's not like the internet providers where Helium Network is going to give you, as the Helium user, a reason to use it. You know, I got a Helium miner in my house. I now have internet. You would almost need a device that would compete with the internet companies. You provide a service, and through your deployment of providing a service, you have your network being deployed. You cannot do it any other way. To make people go, oh, I'm going to mine this, I'll buy that miner. You're talking about a very small subsect of people, and if you try to give it's not scalable to give it away because the hardware costs money. So giving it away would create a welfare system for your blockchain. And then if you make everybody pay for it, you're going to hit a point where your community is paid for all the miners it could possibly buy. There is not enough new interest for people to develop on Helium, nor for new users to come in and deploy new IoT devices. So with this being said, they are going to they are proposing to basically ditch the IoT system. And if that's the case, I wonder how this is going to affect all the people running nodes. This is just one of those things of, if you are into Helium, this is the sign to possibly maybe get out of it. My Helium miner that I got for free. It's another thing. You cannot scale this up. You'll be bankrupt trying to scale this up, giving every man, woman, and child on the planet a Helium miner so your mesh network works. Never gonna work. So Helium will go into Solana, looks like. And when they do that, the project chain turns into a zombie chain that people will just basically extract whatever value they can out of the protocol itself, and you'll have a very small subsect of people still involved with it, and the project's pretty much dead. Man, woman, bobs. It's all about the bobs and mems. Like Fudweiser, I nearly fell for the Helium BS. Canceled 6 orders in time. Nice, Fudweiser. It's like, now you have a Flux node. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is just another one of those things. Out of the time that I've been mining, I have seen it too many times. A specific miner comes out, and it's not even a fucking ASIC. Some of them were, but you see specific hardware come out from a know-nothing company trying to make a name for themselves, and they're making a product. I believe in that stuff. I love that stuff, right? But then they're making it for a project that also is something that just kind of came up out of nowhere. It's meaningless, has no point to it. It's like fucking, having Neo. Neo was supposed to be the Ethereum killer. It never worked. Same thing with Cardano, supposed to be the solution for everybody else to go on to from Ethereum, and it just doesn't work. There's just so many issues when you're developing hardware for a product, for a project that really doesn't have any legs moving forward, right? So that was pretty much Helium. That was the same thing with all this hard drive mining too. That stuff's not scalable, especially when you're burning out hard drives. So you're creating e-waste. You're creating e-waste. You're heavy resource intensive. It's not scalable. I've seen too much of this stuff fail. I root for them every time in secret, but at the same time, I have to be outwardly harsh on them because it's not scalable. If they were to tie this in with another product that people wanted, that every person already would have in their house, like internet, every person in the world, for the most part, either has ability to get or they already have internet coming to their house. So if these people would make a miner that was also your internet device, now you got a better way for distribution. That shit works. This stuff, no way. No way, no how. The Helium devs should have realized this. This was like a hope and a dream. But now they're basically gonna be like, oh, we're done. Later, guys. Thanks for running our equipment. Bye, guys. Later. Tomorrow, the Canadian orders are shipping from Upsilon. Nice. Nice. Let us all know how that goes. Budweiser. So, this is, like I always tell people to kind of be careful with hardware specific stuff. I mean, it's like the Equihash miners. They popped off, and then everybody was bitching that they stopped making money. Dash miners, the same way. I've seen so many ASIC miners that came out, destroyed the algorithm that it goes on to, and then all the miners are left as bag holders of very expensive hardware that will either never ROI where they're at, or it's just because some of these people were buying it because they were so poor. The miner was so cheap, they figured that they could mine and help put food on their table, just to find out that nope, not gonna work. Yeah, Chia. Exactly, mine and hodl. It's like, how many hard drives have been burnt out with Chia, Filecoin, and stuff like that? It's like, oh God, Chia. No! Exactly. Not the Chia, guys. No. And one last little side, it's like, Chia sucks. The coin, not the seed. Yes. Yeah, and then if nobody really saw this one, everybody knows that, Michael Saylor with MicroStrategies, the CEO, they done hit him up on some tax evasion. Because he has multiple houses at different points in time in his life, and they're now coming after him for taxes because he claimed himself to being in another state with lower taxes, and they're trying to now make a case that he was in Washington D.C., where it's got some of the highest taxation in the country, and they're like, "Hey, you lived over here, you owe us the taxes, not over there." It's like, really? So that's funny. So an old photo on the Twitters got him partially doxxed. We'll see how this one goes, but they're trying to say that he was trying to hide money in taxation. It's hilarious. We'll have to see how this one goes. This one is actually a funny one. Because, like, you got a lot of critics at the top levels criticizing any person or any company that's basically, let's face it, a multi-billion-dollar corporation if it touches Bitcoin. They get looked at bad instantaneously. It's like mine and hodl. I have 24 1 terabyte hard drives that are collecting dust. X Chia. Oh God. How much power does that use? 24 1 terabyte hard drives. I'm curious what the actual wattage pull off of that would be. It's like 0 now. Oh my God. Too funny, Rude. Too funny. So does anybody have any other comments or questions before I roll up out of here? Get some gaming on. I plan on getting some quality gaming. So definitely, guys, check out Crypto and Hot Rods Gaming on YouTube or Crypto and Hot Rods on Twitch. If you guys enjoy watching some sim racing, sit there, shoot the shit, whatever, talk about whatever. It's a little bit more free-form, casual, kick back. I'll talk about whatever comes to mind, whether it's controversial or not. That's kind of where I just kind of kick back, and you guys can sit there and kind of direct. You can either be there, make it a hangout spot when I go live, or catch me on an off topic. Ooh. Rude, you are crazy. You are crazy, Rude. Hold on here. I will pull that up. Up here. Copy. And pasta. There's me on Twitch.
Let's see if this is going to play nice with me now.
Hey, now it's like playing my video from 4 days ago. No, I didn't want it to do that. Whatever. And then. All right, and then my YouTube side. No problem, Foodwiser. And bam. No, I play on both. I play on both, Rude. I dual stream them. Dual streaming for the win. I just had to get the other link. It's like I didn't have the links all set up. Sorry, guys. I failed you. I failed you. Yes. If I play exclusive to Twitch only, I can be a little bit more freeform. But to be honest, Larry is not one of my styles of gaming. I like to, if I'm going to play a game like it's either going to be a first person shooter or I'm going to be doing like a Fallout style Fallout or Cyberpunk 2077, Grand Theft Auto, stuff like that. That's my more go-to games versus like story mode games. Race game. Pong. Oh my God, break it out with the old school. Break it out with the old school. I've kind of looked into some of that, but not really big on Rust, you know? You wake up on a beach naked. Oh my gosh. You youngsters! It's all good, it's all good. It's all good. I forget how old I was when Pong came out. Let's see here. Well, the original Pong, if you were 6 when that came out, you're way older than me then. If you were in the 6th grade when the original Pong came out, you're an old fart. And I mean that in the most respectful way. I've got gray hairs too, so it's like, just don't look at my gray hairs and we're all good. But the original Pong came out November 29th, 1972, guys. I just Googled it, sorry. Because I'm like, I don't know how old I was when it came out. No, I wasn't even fucking born yet. Only when I'm earning Nexua if it becomes mineable playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Yes, Gallo, yes! Old fart was the George Carlin proper nomenclature for old dude. Yes. I love George Carlin. I'm a huge George Carlin fan. I got to meet him once, too. Dude is just as funny in real life. That man just like, boom, he's like on point, well, was on point with all of his jokes. It was like one of those things. It's funny because it's true. It's like that was 10 years before I was born. Yeah, exactly, Rude. And guys, one last thing before I sign out of here, definitely make sure you're keeping an eye on your Ethereum merge date for your payout schedules, and then be on the swivel that there is a lot of Ethereum that is moving to the exchanges. Stay frosty out there, guys. Definitely. Hey, what up, work crow? Hey. But definitely, guys, smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. Helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Share this on your favorite social media. Helps me get the word out to all of you awesome people. You guys are some of the reasons why I do all of this. The other half of it is so that I can remember what I did. So yeah, it's like, you too, Fudweiser. Thanks, bro. Bye. Rude's like, thanks, man, for the stream. Have a good day and laters. Yo, thanks. Keep on. No problem, work crow. So definitely, guys, I will definitely see you on the next one. So let's see here. Tomorrow I will be. So tomorrow will be Friday. So Friday we'll be tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Bare naked circuitry. Give this the panda flick. Yo. So we're going to take this apart. We're going to look underneath the hood. I want to see how this fucking thing ticks. I do. I'm interested to see the layout. I have purposely avoided any time I've seen anybody wanting to take this apart. I wanted to take this apart with zero knowledge going into this. Okay, so we're going to take this apart. I'm going to explain to you all the stuff that I know in this GPU, because it's a different layout, all the same components are being used. All the same components. So it's just a matter of where they put them onto the PCB. So tomorrow we're going to pull this apart. We're going to identify everything and go from there. So if you enjoy that stuff, definitely smash that lizard like button on your way out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. And of course, stay savage. And of course, yeah, Kyle Rosa with the FA, because all of you guys are rated F for fucking awesome. Yo!